Hello, everyone. Woo! Welcome to the first ever episode of Beyond Karma here on the Beyond Mystic YouTube, Rumble, and X channels, broadcasting all around. And I'm so excited to be here with everyone this evening in all of your different time zones. And I am joined this first round by special guest, JEAN-CLAUDE from Beyond Mystic. Welcome.
Hello. Thank you for having me on. I'm very excited for the show, and hello to everyone in the live chat. Give Crystal some love here for our first inaugural show. It's going to be
Aw.
a really good one. I'm really excited, guys. So thank you for having me on, Crystal.
Yes, thank you for being here. Of course, being my first show, I'm a little bit nervous, but having our family in the community and having you, JC, here is, so supportive and exciting. Would you be open to sharing with everyone a little bit about the concept of how Beyond Karma sort of came to you and why we chose this?
Absolutely. Well, first of all, I have to say I met Crystal about a year ago for the first time in person. And I was really impressed by her demeanor, by her, how do you say it, intellectual or emotional IQ. I think that Crystal has an amazing way to communicate her thoughts, her beliefs, and also her coaching as it comes to interactive tarot and intuition tarot. So I think, Crystal, you have a very unique point of view and a very amazing way of delivering that point of view. So I'm excited to have you here on the show on Beyond Mystic. So that said, once I got to know you a little bit and speaking with your mom, of course, I realized that you might be the person I was looking for a long time to head up this brand new concept show here on Beyond Mystic called Beyond Karma. Now, since the onset of Beyond Mystic, we've tried to push the boundaries and go through that Tory gate to learn new things, to cross over from the mundane to the sacred. And in those conversations, of course, inevitably, humans, as we strive to get into this self mastery, we keep hitting on karma, right? And for a lot of part of our lives, we wonder why things are happening the way they are in our lives, and we're trying to get a better control of it. And then we get into some of the philosophical teachings, and we realize that karma can be, in some cases, aided, or the process of going through one's karma could be very much aided when you kind of see where things are coming from and you understand the people and the relationships in your lives, what karma they have with you, with karma you have with them, and etc. And I thought that having a show to where we could discuss this together would be very helpful for humanity at this time. We do a lot of shows on Beyond Mystic that are self-help shows, whether that's the tarot, astrology, numerology, the remote viewers, all to kind of forge a path in this crazy world of ours. But from a personal perspective, karma, we haven't really looked at yet in the last number of years. So I'm really excited to get into that this evening. And the way we've designed the show also to make it interactive for the audience members to deal or to try to deal with some of their karmas through your intuition, through your tarot, I think is going to be very helpful here moving forward. So tonight, I think we want to set the baseline around, of course, the definition of karma. There's the Hindu definition of that, but then we're going to add some layers to that as well tonight. And then we're going to see how we can integrate that into a weekly show to where we can help people individually, where we could look at the world also on a bigger scale, because we as a collective also have a karma. So it's not just at the personal level, it's also at the collective level. And on the collective front, we of course are dealing with karma wars with other groups as well. So it gets more and more complicated as you understand this theme. And hopefully we could bridge all of that together with you guys and give you some added ammunition here on how to not just forge a path in this crazy world, but also forge a path in your own spiritual, physical, and mental development here as you try to strive for self-mastery. So in a nutshell, that's why we're trying to do this show. And so I want to say a big thank you to everyone watching in tonight for the first show. And I want to say again, thank you, Crystal, for accepting the challenge. There are big boots to fill, of course. And I think you're going to do absolutely amazing with that. How do you feel about this show, the
Thank
concept, and
you.
how we're bringing it together, and the opportunity here moving forward to be part of the Beyond Mystic crew here, front facing for your first time here? Although you've been a guest on a couple of shows before, but now this is your own show. So how do you feel, Crystal?
Oh, what a wonderful introduction. Thank you so much. Gosh, I already have so much to say, and my mind is going in so many directions around it. And we really see how karma integrates into all of our realities, right? Just a quick point to that: the word karma originates from the Sanskrit term karman, meaning action or deed. So it is so based upon cause and effect, right? The actions with which we go about our daily lives really do affect us in one way or another. And this has always been fascinating to me before I knew anything about what karma was, or that's what I found, was a fascinating tie-in. I've always just loved observing people and people's natural ways of being, and how when you treat people with kindness in a certain way, and you go about your life in a certain way, you seem to get some of that really back in a beautiful way. And yet it doesn't matter how good of a person you are, we're still going to go through struggle. We came here as human beings to have this experience, and we learn through challenge, right? So
Mhm.
I'm really excited to be here to explore how everyone is navigating through these wild karmic times, and how everyone bringing their special, their unique wisdom and their guides to these lives. We can all work together to have a look at how our actions have consequences in both really positive and also challenging ways, and none of that is truly bad, from where I see it. There certainly is
Right.
a lot of nefarious action out there in the world, but we're here to look at some of the really positive sides of it. So
And
that's exciting.
when I thought about the title for this concept show too, I thought, this whole idea of karma as we're moving into what appears to be a very big transition in our world, whether that's on the political stage, the religious stage, on a judicial point of view as well. We see that those guys have been capitulated for a long time, and it seems that we're moving into a justice phase, so to speak. Right? We're seeing that in the news now with the John Boltons of the world having their house raided and all that stuff. So, in my mind too, I wanted to be able to expand this show, not just to look at the personal stuff, but also to look at how sometimes karma's a bitch, and when it comes after you, there's a lot of lessons for everyone to learn, right? So we're going to be able to expand this outwards, and that brings to mind a question, because as a kid, I had an idea or a viewpoint of what karma was, and from
Mhm.
my upbringing, it was, JC, don't do unto others what you don't want them to do to you, right? So if you do bad things will happen to you. That was my first introduction to karma. I'm curious, what was yours? Was it slanted there, or was it also slanted on the positive side to where, hey, if you accumulate good karma, good things will come out of it as well? How was it for you as a kid? How did you read that?
Oh, I would say definitely both. Absolutely both. I mean, when this concept first came um, into the reality, Mom and I were talking about some like big points in our lives where, like karma really bit you in the butt kind of thing. And actually, since this show came in as a concept, I've been doing a lot of deep diving into different people sharing their wisdoms on karma, and really learning a lot about it. And from what I understand now, um, out in the great universe, in the karmic universe, it isn't necessarily about the good or the bad deeds that creates karma. That's what we associate it with in our 3D reality, but it is all in the karmic field out there. So it's quite
Right.
interesting that for us to have a look at tuning in with something like the cards in a show like this where we can look at, even if it feels like it's bad karma, is this actually, from what I understand, it's actually an indicator to support us in our growth, the things, the lessons that we came here to learn. So it might feel crappy, but it's not
Right.
necessarily because you did a bad thing or because you're a bad person or whatever, right?
So that was my toddler or 5-year-old view of karma. And as I grew older, I understood, oh, these are basically appearing in this life as opportunities to grow
Mhm.
and to perhaps fix the mistake of past lives, right? So now I understood, oh, this is happening right now to me, not necessarily because, I stole my sister's lunch money when she was 6 years old and I'm getting, bad karma from it, but I could be dealing with a person with whom I've had a relationship in a past life, and there's still some residual effects to whatever that relationship was. And as
Yeah.
I started asking these questions as I got older, I started to understand that, whoa, when you look at it from that perspective, whatever egregious or even love affair you might have with someone, whether it's positive or negative, if you see it from the bigger picture of why it's happening right now, you get to the, is it happening to me or is it happening for me? And I think very much the
Okay.
karma is the latter. It's happening for you in order to either grow out of certain karmic loops, to close karmic loops, and maybe all in between, right? So, how do you feel about that as well? Like getting on the frequency and attunement to understand who you're having a relationship with and why perhaps looking at that past karma is very important and how to drive moving forward that relationship for both people's highest good. When did that click for you, and how did you kind of put that into a frame of being so that you can explore that and put that
Mhm.
into your relationship skills as an adult?
Excellent question. Yeah. I mean, I have had a fair share of what I feel are karmic connections, not just romantic relationships, but also karmic connections in friendships and family as well. My mom, for example, feels like a very karmic connection. And um, I've heard say that karmic relationships are ones that you're meant to kind of get into and learn some lessons and get out of as soon as you can, kind of thing. And I feel like we're going to have different contracts with different people.
Mm,
And from what I feel is that as long as you are in it with that curiosity of, I have something to learn from this, um and without the going too much into the victimhood of it or the blame when things get hard, I feel like that is what karma is kind of sort of speaking to or asking of us.
mhm.
I feel like we're going to continue to go into these karmic loops with these connections until we learn how to really ultimately come into a place of surrender, curiosity, and step out of that blame or judgment for ourselves or the person that we're connecting with.
Or to become in
And
alignment and to
Mhm.
resolve some of those situations. I'm totally with you on that.
Yeah.
And by the way, I never stole my sister's lunch money. I was just giving that as an example live here. Although I did scare the bejesus out of her quite a bit as kids. We used to watch scary movies, and I would hide and then and spook her.
Oh
That's
my
probably.
gosh.
Anyways, sorry, sis. Yeah, I think that's
So
very
fun. I
important.
wonder what it would have been like to have you as a brother. Oh my goodness.
Oh, I was terrible. I gotta tell you. And my brother and I got into it as well. We had a lot of fun as young lads. Um, Now, so on the individual level, I see what you're saying now too, and those understandings and those perceptions of perhaps past karma really enable us to catapult those relationships where they're supposed to go, and perhaps, like I said again, in the highest good for everyone involved. And that doesn't mean it's going to be easy. Sometimes it's absolutely hard. Like there's those weird
Absolutely.
karmic relationships that come and kind of crash your life and then move on, right? But if you understand the bigger picture of why they're happening, then it gives you a little bit of a, not just a heads up, but also um, an up leveling on how to deal with the situation. And then
Totally.
comes the the karmic at a group level too. Also,
Mhm.
like for example, so I'm French Canadian, and I work my entire political life on how to try to basically defend French language communities or minority communities through the Official Languages Act, and also the Bill of Rights here, or the Charter of Rights, as it's called here in Canada. And so I'm attached to that certain karma of that population and the way it's been treated in Canada. Just so too would be the case for the Aboriginals here in Canada, right? So all of these are different layers that add to the way we're um, programmed as kids to understand our relationships
Mm.
with everyone else, and also as adults now on how to perhaps deal with some of that karma. What do you make of that, and where do you see perhaps yourself falling into more of a group kind of karma, or a group of people karma, or
Yeah.
even like a past life karma, to where it's at a bigger level than just you personally, or perhaps individuals having those relationships with you, but you being associated to a bigger group. Have you seen that also in your life, and how does that affect you?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's my connection to people and the world has always been, I feel like, if I can toot my own horn, one of the more beautiful things about myself is that I feel like I have a personal and karmic role to play in connecting with people of all status and all walks of life in a really real way. And I feel like some of us are here to either work through some karma or clear some karmic path in that way by really connecting with the different realities of all of these different beings and having a lot of compassion, care, and understanding for the perspectives and their truths and where they're kind of coming from. Like I say now, especially recently, that I'm having a harder and harder time disliking anybody, um, which is kind of wild, but I bring it all into every time I see someone that challenges me or that like triggers or activates me. I kind of like look at them and start to just get curious about them, like, well, what is upsetting me about this person, and how might that tie in with my karmic story, and why would I um contract to bring this type of a reality into my life? So um our karmic actions or deed creates experiences that play out in this lifetime and the next. I mean, I don't know who I have been involved with in previous lifetimes and how what I might have done to them, so I could be upset with the way that they're treating me or other people in this lifetime, but I have no clue how I've treated
Hmm.
them, right?
Right.
So it just is a bit of, I guess, who I came here to be, to um see beyond some of the triggers and the programming and the trauma, and just come into a lot of curiosity and compassion and care for
And
everybody
I think
has.
that's
Go,
Oh,
go
sorry. I
ahead.
didn't mean to
Yeah,
interrupt you. Yeah, we have a little bit of a lag. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
no worries.
I'm totally with you on that, and to some extent, I'm the same now when I have these kind of weird moments with people. My first reaction is like, "Oh, what's playing out here? Where's the karma there?
Mhm,
Where's my karma? What's their person's karma coming from?"
mhm.
And I think if we ask ourselves those questions, thing inevitably go maybe smoother than otherwise they might be. But that compassion part you just talked about too. I just did a show with Jay Widener on Sunday night. We were talking about
Yes,
a psychonaut's journey, right? So for me, it
yes.
was that one experience with mushrooms and psilocybin, to where I got not only the understanding that, or the deep knowing that, yes, of course, I'm more than this particular meat sack I currently am occupying in this body's life, and that energy, that essence of me, does not die when I get out of this body. So that was a big learning curve. But the other one was that, um, on that trip, it's not that I realized that I knew it before, but I didn't know it, but now I do. And it's that we are not separate from anything. We are actually you know,
Yeah.
connected to everything. And I think that was the big one. It's just an illusion that we are separate to everything, right? And so again, when you see that from that bigger picture, dealing with karma becomes more of a second nature type of thing, I think. So I think that that
Totally.
understanding your um emotional IQ, your amazing intuition skills to you that you have added to your skill with the tarot can be very, very helpful for people in the live show saying,
Mm.
"Hey, dude, I'm dealing with this boss. What the f? Blah blah blah. Here's the situation. Crystal, can you help me out on that?" Right. So I'm excited to be able to do that live. Kind of interaction here with the audience members as we go along with this series. Maybe we can take some of your questions here today, guys, as well.
Yeah.
If you have similar questions and details about a certain karmic loop that's happening in your life right now, please do populate that in the chat, and we'll try to pick a few ones here as we go. Now, is that something that you see also already? Was that organically happening as you started to learn tarot and you started to see clients? Were you drawn to that almost immediately, or was it coming from your clients? Like, how did you get attuned to using that particular skill and bridging that together with karma and some of that resolution of karma?
Okay. Um, what skill are you speaking to?
So your tarot skills and your
Yeah.
ability to view the bigger picture in interactions where karma kind of is playing a role, and your ability to kind of cut through that a little bit and help people guide them through that karmic
Mhm.
loop or whatever karmic situation they're dealing with. It seems that you're born to do that job. And I'm curious if it came from your side learning the tarot, or if it came
Mm.
naturally from clients just
Mhm.
knowing that perhaps you could help them at that level.
Mhm. Oh, I mean, I definitely came in with that as a little girl. I was always a natural therapist in the way that, you know, I always saw all sides of things. And so I never wanted to tie someone in too much with like, freaking out and blaming the other person. I'd be like, okay, well, always the mediator.
Yeah.
So I feel like that really set me up for. I did 15 years of hairdressing. I'm still working in that field. And when you're in something like that, I went into it because I was already empathetic and I wanted to help people, and I loved beauty. So I went into that. And I think that really strengthened my ability to just tune in with people and
Right.
really like I'd feel my intuition, I'd be like, oh, I would use it to like get into like the nitty gritty of they're acting this way, but I can tell there's something below that kind of thing.
Right.
And then, once Janine and the tarot came into our reality, that all just started to play in as part of natural ability for me. And I feel like the intuitive piece, um, for me has always been a real conscious practice, actually, and something that didn't necessarily naturally come that I've had to work on. And now using this as a tool, it all seems to be really tying in as um, the whole piece that is a part of the purposeful path, right? We're all looking
Right.
for that purposeful path to walk into our best karmic outcome, and the tarot coming in as a tool to be of service has been, I think, the next like activation of that.
Right. Phenomenal. It makes sense.
Mhm.
Celestial Emma says hairdressers know it all. Man, my
Right.
hairdresser knows everything about my life, of course. It's either two. It's the bartender or the hairdressers. These are the most empathic people you'll ever meet, right? They're just born for that job to listen and to connect, as you just said. So, guys, you're in good hands tonight with
Mhm.
Crystal. She has a lot of talents for you guys. There's a couple of questions already. I think Guinness Girl had
Mhm.
one, and somebody else in the chat also.
Yeah,
Sandra Dreaming. There's a few more there. Do you want to try to do a few of
I'd
those
love to.
questions now? How do you feel about that? Yeah. Okay. Do you want
Yeah.
me to read out the questions? Do you want to pick them out? How do you want to proceed, Crystal? What do you think?
Maybe if we could just pop them up on the screen, is that
Okay.
possible?
Let me
How do we
let me
usually
start
do
with
it?
this one here from Guinness Girl. Well, that we can do
Okay.
it that way. There you go.
I have been divorced 17 years and have no feelings one way or another about him. But I have dreamed all the time that we're back together and I'm pissed in a dream. What is happening? Oh,
Dude, that's a
dreams
good
is
one.
another one, isn't it? Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we could think we feel a way in our conscious reality, in our waking hours, and yet there's this niggling subconscious thread where
Mhm.
we're still tied. Okay, so first of all, 10 of Pentacles popping out there. There is definitely, I'd say, karmic legacy. This is the legacy card. So I'd say that there's certainly some sort of karmic legacy that's uh, not just from this lifetime that is that has connected the two of you. So let's just have a look at, I'd say, first of all, your karmic connection, and then we'll pull some clarifiers on if there's anything that's
Okay.
keeping you tied. Yeah. I do a lot
Okay.
of my psychic
Exciting.
work in my dreams. So Guinness Girl says that also I do a lot of my psychic work in my dreams. So this irritates me dreaming about him all the time. Okay, so let's actually start there. Let's start with, why are you dreaming about him?
Mhm.
That is a good one to ask. Okay, everyone, I got a
And,
brand
while
new.
Crystal is, shuffling, yeah, I could tell they look very, slippery.
Yeah, very slippery, which is exciting. It's all new energy here. So I'm going to pull 3 cards on that. Okay. Interesting here because we have this actual like restful sleeping card. So there's something that is really innocent about this. So this is kind of past, present, and future here. And if we look at, there was something about this innocent part of you that was um, fulfilled by this connection in some way, or it affected a part of your like inner child self. And that part is playing out in your dreams. It could also be that you had like a past life together as like brother and sister, or where they were like your child. So we can see that it relates to something to do with like the child self, or a younger, he's a narcissist. I mean, the narcissists are another huge topic, right? When we start to bring all of this in, and in some way, it is affecting your inner child self in your dream reality. So let's look at what you can do to work with that. Okay. So it's bringing up something um, interesting. It's bringing up, this is a card of reciprocity and generosity. So there's something where it's almost inviting you to, you're finally standing up to him. It's almost like it's inviting you into, in your conscious life, to finding some way of like clearing these old karmic chains so that you can come into a space of feeling generous of heart towards him. And sometimes we're not able to go to those places in our conscious reality towards somebody because they've hurt us so much. And it's
Mhm.
so hard to come into that place that's of generous heart. But I feel like until you have done the work with it, so that you can just literally send him like just you know, the best natured like keep him at a distance, but send him good energy from that space, you're going to keep dancing between the realms on it. So you're being asked to go into a deeper journey with it. Something's not cleared yet. Yeah.
So those dreams are reflecting of that past karma, and there's still something out of balance here that she's supposed to accomplish, not
Yeah.
in dream state, but in physicality with
in
this
the
person.
physical in the physical world. It's inviting you to dig deeper into something that still is, any time that anyone is affecting us, right? And we're going, oh, this person, and we're like looking at them, it has something to do with an internal mirror that we're not, somehow it still hasn't been cleared, right? So this
Yeah.
is the vision quest card, and it's asking you to do some deeper emotional work so that you can come into a state of generosity and reciprocity towards this being and just leave it at that. I'm reminded of a counselor once told me I had to sort of block someone out of my life, which is very rare for me. I always try to make space for people, and I had to take a period of time of not speaking to someone that I cared for deeply. And every time they came into my reality, it really ramped me up energetically. And my counselor said, you know what, why don't you just picture spraying them with like this fire hose of like love. And you're
Right.
literally just like, and it kind of like was twofold, because I was like, yeah, I was just like hosing them down, but it was like with like good energy. And it kind of just like blocked them from coming into my reality anymore, but it was
Interesting.
with this space of love, right?
Okay.
So I
Well,
hope that
I
answers.
hope that helps for Guinness Girl, and there might
Yeah.
be maybe if you sleep on that a day or two and let that you'll probably find a way because she was saying, "Well, I never talked to him. I haven't talked to him for a long time." Doesn't necessarily mean you have to talk to him either. You have to come to a place of that reciprocity, and it doesn't necessarily mean it has to be communicated live with the other person, but you in 3D have to resonate to that field, I think is what Crystal is saying. And nobody said it was going to be easy. So just forewarn you guys here,
Again.
if you're asking questions, Crystal is not going to be holding any punches here. She's going to call it like it is. So thank you for that question. Next one,
Mhm.
Sandra Dreaming question. Having such a challenge with my eldest son, know I have had other lives with him, trying to understand what's going on. We are currently estranged. Okay, difficult one here
Oh,
for Sandra. All
my
right,
heart
let's
goes
see what
out
we
to you,
can glean from the
Sandra.
cards.
Oh,
Mhm.
I mean, I so feel for everyone that is struggling with separation in their families and from their loved ones. So tuning in with your oldest son. You've had other lives with him. What's going on in this one?
Mhm.
Okay. I'm actually going to do a deeper spread on this one. Sometimes it's so funny. There's not a whole lot of specific rhyme or reason necessarily to when I do a spread. I just kind of intuit which one the question is going to need. So here I'm going to do a focused answer question. And what we're seeing here is that there needed to be an end to a past life cycle again. So it's very interesting. It's definitely tied into something to do with like law, patriarchal systems. In some way, there is I'd say, past life connection that's coming in that had to do with maybe that there was a connection between you where there was some sort of punishment that occurred, something to do with the legal system. And in this lifetime, it's brought in Oh, the heartache of that. The heartache of that dynamic that happened, and this is the last one that is coming in on, is what I see. So this is the one where that gets put to rest, and right now, the action on that is being put on hold for both of you. The hangman coming in is very intentional. So this is the present time. And so this space of distance between the two of you is actually what is required to bring it into both of you looking at what is really truly causing the upset in your beings, right? For both of you, there's been heartbreak, and now you're sitting in the realm of disappointment. And this stuff comes up when it's ready to be healed. This is the lifetime to do it. It could be a slow process. This fella, he's pretty slow and steady, and yet the outcome of it is that there is a new path that you're going on. This page of swords coming in here is really like you are going in a new direction with this. You're learning how to upgrade your ways of speaking to yourselves and each other. And so finally here, look at that. New beginnings. This is a part of both of your spiritual paths. So this is the spiritual warrior here. Oh, how beautiful. This is a spiritual contract that you have come together to navigate in this lifetime. You're coming into strength together. And I think that even, within the year, you're going to see a new direction forming. This is a new beginning, a new way, and you're coming into a new karmic path together. How beautiful is that?
Oh, that's great. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the hangman there, it's uncomfortable, but usually that leads towards enlightenment. So that's necessary to be uncomfortable right now as things are
Precisely.
working themselves out. Yeah. Is there
Precisely.
is there anything this person could be doing to help the process along, or is it just a
Yeah.
question of use universal timing here? What do you see?
Is there anything you could be doing to helping it along? Okay, beautiful. Absolutely. So for one, and I work with this with my clients a lot. For one, holding as the mama, especially holding the dream, holding in your heart what you really want to see happen in this relationship. What would be the ultimate connection to have with your son? And really communicate that with yourself and even speak it into your reality. These two cards, the Queen and the Page of Swords, is really being intentional with our words and with our thoughts towards this person. And if you could keep that in the realm of the highest, the most ideal outcome, and that energy, he's going to feel it. This is
Okay.
the high frequency energy card. So this energy that you send him and the way that you speak it out into the world and in your mind is going to be what really shifts all of
Okay.
this for you. Yeah.
Okay. Sandra, I hope that helps. Thank you, Crystal, for that. Next one is from Jenny Alicia. She says, I've been having someone from my past pop up in my dreams um, for the last year and a half. It feels very karmic, like unfinished business or something. Can you get clarity on who's popping up in her dreams and why?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
I just wanted to speak to before I go into this, that I know like as JC is saying, that this advice is not necessarily easy, and that I will speak to a lot of like, send these people love, and it is a practice. It takes overriding our natural programming that we have been so steeped in, of fear and judgment and shame and blame, and all of that is coming from these really, um, sensitive beings that we are, that have been traumatized and wounded and,
Put
have
through
been
the
fed
ringer.
so
Yeah,
much fear. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So the suggestions that I'm making, I don't make it lightly. It is not easy. It takes effort and practice and commitment to loving ourselves first and foremost, and then being able to give that to other people. So I'm just here to support everybody in doing that the best we can, and we're learning about this together, because
Very
I am
good.
not perfect, and I sure as heck don't expect any of you to be. So,
Exactly. John
oh
says,
my
"I like
God.
the way Crystal is letting the vision come to her." Great stuff. Thank you, John. Appreciate
Oh,
that.
thank
Yeah.
you.
I think you guys are getting a glimpse of what I meant at the beginning of the show here. You're doing great, Crystal.
Oh,
Let's get back
thank you.
to
She's
Jenny
a couple
Alicia's
for
question.
thank you.
Yeah, there you go.
Having someone from my past pop into my dreams off and on for the past year and a half. Feels like very karmic, unfinished business or something. Okay, so why is this person coming in? Lots about dreams. I mean, I feel like, gosh, we could do a whole episode talking about
Absolutely.
our dream state.
Well,
And
you've got a brand new concept show, Crystal. You
right,
can do
I
what you
can do
want.
whatever I want.
You can bring all of these elements in, and that's why it's so broad to do the show on this. You can do always a portion where you're helping people out one on one like this. You also want to do good news stories, and we'll get into that next year too, because we often tend to look at all the negatives here, and we do a lot of news decode shows, Jenny and I, on the channel. And for the most part, people are asking us to look at ugly stuff, like what is this? What is this about? And there's always a lot of fear, but we often forget to look at the success stories, to where an individual or a little community gets stuff done and it's very practical. So we wanted to add this to the show too, to remind people that resistance is absolutely not futile, and one person can make a big difference. So we're going to add that and populate some of these shows with those great success stories as well. So at some point here, we're probably going to create a web page also for you guys to be able to populate some of those success stories on your behalf, if you have people in your lives, in your communities, that you think should be celebrated, and that you feel sharing that publicly with the Beyond Mystic audience. We'll create some type of template here to where we can put those together for Crystal here for shows moving forward. Okay,
Yeah,
now
love
back to
it.
Jenny Alicia here. What's that third 3-card pull here?
Isn't this wild? Because this 10 of Pentacles popped out in that first question in regards to the dream time. So again, it's like something to do with legacy. It is also like, now it's showing me, okay, this is a past life, a karmic card where we've had multiple experiences of physical lifetimes with this person. And this really speaks to that. It could have been something to do with also showing up in this lifetime with your relationship to father, with your relationship to the masculine, the patriarchy, and something that you may be navigating through. You're kind of re-strategizing almost with this 7 of Swords here, how to navigate this type of patriarchal masculine energy. And as you go through that in your dream time, it's actually giving you the nod to, like, you've done this before with this person in a past life. And it could be the thread that comes in this one. What you do about that, interesting. So I speak to a lot about how we have shortcut sickness in our society.
Mhm.
It ties in with our attention spans and all of it, but we really are wanting to, especially with something like utilizing a tool like this, it's like, give me the answer, so that I can move through this and stop that from happening. None of this happens necessarily fast. And sometimes it can, because it's just the time. And sometimes it's that thing that is just meant to play its course. And you're going to have, I feel like, little discoveries and little wins along the way with navigating through this. Again, we come back to It's changing your mindset about it instead of feeling frustrated or like in resistance to it. When this person comes through, when this energy comes in, it's like, oh, thank you for reminding me. I still have something to work on there, or there's something that that might tie into a synchronicity in my life right now that I need to address. So it looks to me like this will work through, and to look at something to do with your connection to the masculine father and how this person may trigger that. And it's an opportunity for healing around it.
Wow, fascinating. Thank you, Crystal, and thank you, Jenny, for sharing. And she says,
Thank
"Yeah, so resonating." And by the way, both the previous two you read said, "Thank you very much." Also, I didn't
you. Okay,
interrupt you in the live
super.
chat there. Some of those comments are in delay when we're already on other questions, but thank you everyone for those kind comments in the live show. We have, so I have. Okay, before we get into those success stories, you had
Yeah.
a few announcements also to make. For the Beyond Mystic community. Do you want to bring up your slide deck and go through those quickly, and then we'll get through
Okay.
the success stories here before we go tonight?
Absolutely. You guys, I love this. This is my chance to be able to support my other family members on the Beyond Mystic platform. So here we are looking at Sunny and Meg Moonbeam's Starseed Crystal Collection, Sacred Stones of Interstellar Light. Cool.
Cool.
So I haven't actually been really filled in on the whole premise behind this, but
I
what we're
think we're
looking
gonna have
at.
them on Thursday night. I think, or Meg's coming on. I think they're coming on this Thursday night. Coco told me we're gonna explain a little bit more about this stuff. It's really cool. At any rate, guys, check out their website. There's a lot there at the scorplingshop.com. And if you use the coupon code Beyond Mystic in one word there, you'll get an extra 10% off. But yeah, so many cool products there on the Scorpling Shop. And a big congratulations to Meg and Sunny for putting all of that cool stuff together. And I think with the crystals also, it kind of does tie into this karma, because as we're pulling to threads of these energies of these karmic relationships, it's very possible that some of these crystals can enable us to either acclimatize or to adjust to certain frequencies, as you were talking earlier about getting that dreamscape into reality here. There might be some stuff in there in that store that resonates for you, and so I encourage you to go check it out there at the scorplingshop.com.
Here I am, I've accidentally changed it. However, I was going to say the
That's good
exact
too.
same thing that you did. So, and it ties in with something like the Argonauts as well, right? So, the Argonite pyramids, it's really, these are such incredible tools to help us, assist us in navigating through these times. And there's no coincidence that our Earth Mother gave us these tools to assist us in this way. And these beings that are on our platform that are offering their wisdom and their expertise in supporting us in access to those tools and how to utilize them is just so beautiful. So well done, JC and Beyond Mystic team, for having that diverse opportunity to be able to access that.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. Check it
double
out
your
at
power.
ascensionorganites.com. There you go. Hey, yeah, what she's saying here is you spend $100 or more here and get a beginner series pyramid for free. These are absolutely amazing. So it's a second gift for your loved ones as well. So good deal there at ascensionorganites.com. All right,
Love it.
Crystal,
Crystal on
good news
crystal.
stories for the show. What do you have for us? I'm curious about this segment.
Okay. Okay. Let me find it here. Okay. Um, bear with me.
Oh,
Share
Sinister
this
Nobody says
instead.
Scorpion Shop has extremely tasty Moldavite. Dude, they source really beautiful crystals, including the Moldavite. It's getting harder and harder to find, but I know Sunny has a really good lead on sourcing this stuff. Yes, so if you're looking for Moldavite, yes, Sister Nobody, you're absolutely right. Amazing pieces there at the Scorpion Shop. All right.
Moldavite is such a powerful stone. Yeah, yeah. Okay. So here is one example of this super funky human who has gone in to outside of London, and he's actually repurposing trees that were going to be they basically they don't have the ability to store all of the trees in outside of London, and so they basically are going to chip them all up. And this guy has repurposed all of these trees that are going to go into essentially non-useful material, and has made this beautiful furniture that he has repurposed in such a cool way. So it's an example of how we can take something that is essentially just going to be tossed away, something that was so valuable to us as beings in the whole cycle of our life. And we can see so many ways that things are just getting tossed into the heap and essentially causing more toxicity in our world. And we can repurpose them in such a powerful way. So he is doing that. And that's just one example of something that we can do in that way. This is the second example. I can't wait to share this with you. I'm going to go through them quickly because we only have a little bit of time left here. This fellow is, I mean, this is something that's coming through more and more as a trend, but this fellow is turning mushrooms into coffins for green burials. Now, what is really cool about that, and I have a little clip here, if we could actually play it.
If you're on that tab, you should be able to bring up the audio there, the way you're sharing.
Me see.
Yeah.
It's the roots of mushrooms, and simply said, they're just the recyclers of nature. So everything that turns into death, they turn it into life.
It feeds on decaying plants and animals, expanding at a rate of ½ an inch per day.
From this little piece of mycelium, we can grow a living coffin.
Really?
Yeah.
Back at Loop's headquarters, Bob and his team mix the mycelium with wet sawdust and spray it with a secret sauce that helps it grow. Then they seal it in a plastic mold shaped like a coffin. This part of the process is also a secret. Fungus fills in the empty space and it dries within a week. It's a building technique that Bob has been experimenting with for years.
Right now, we tend to work with dead materials, while I envision a world in which we work together with organisms.
The final product is light but sturdy.
It's almost like a sort of styrofoam material, so it's really rigid, yet it's super lightweight.
It can carry up to 440 pounds. Each coffin is lined with a layer of moss sourced from a local farm.
The moss has two functions, in that it helps to decompose the body faster and rich in biodiversity. And the other one is to give humans the experience of becoming part of the cycle of life.
A body interned in a Loop coffin should not be embalmed or wear any synthetic materials, so it can transform into soil faster.
Wow.
That was an exciting prospect for Johannes Panhuisen.
So, I mean,
that's crazy.
It's certainly something to look into because, I mean,
Guinness Girl says, I've seen this. I want to be buried in shrooms. It just reminds me of my mushroom trip. And the Pineapple Patriot says, look at JC's face. He's enthralled. Yeah, I'm like, whoa, that's so cool. I never saw that before. Thank you for sharing that, Crystal. That's cool.
I mean, Mom and I actually did a beautiful course on conscious conversations around death and dying, and we learned all about this originally. And you know, the really archaic tradition or institution of burying people and all of the toxicity that goes into all of the substances, the embalming fluid, what the casket's made out of. I mean, you could do a deep dive into this. That's just like, how did we not come to this sooner? You know, whatever. But it's pretty beautiful to see. these people, and I mean, look, he's so sweet. You can tell he's just so excited to like do something cool with mushrooms. Like,
Yeah. That's a really good story. I love that.
yeah,
Man,
yeah,
we're already there at the end of the show. Um, let me ask you to do a poll. Can I ask you to do a poll? It's not a personal question, but I'm curious what universe we often do these shows with Janine. We ask the questions this way. What universe would say as to why um us understanding the laws of karma and understanding how those karmic or karmans, as you call them, affect us in this lifetime and how we can basically become better humans by being aware of them, one, and two, understanding our role into resolving some of that karma to not perpetuate that into the future. Why that's more critical now than perhaps forever. In that show that I did with Jay Widener, we were talking
Mhm.
about the evolutionary mind trialogue um, with Terence McKenna. And he was suggesting or opining in that 3 hour series that humanity is going through a birthing canal right now. We're changing into something completely different. And I can't help but wonder if karma, our understanding and our relationship with it, is also on that verge of um expanding into our consciousness more than ever before as part of that evolutionary step for humans. So I'm curious for you to pull cards from universe and see what universe has to say about why that's very critical right now in this birthing canal for humanity.
What a good point. Yeah. I mean, I just think there's no coincidence that we're doing this show now and that this topic has come up in such a big way. And it's like, I don't know, that whole thing where when you buy a vehicle and you see the same vehicle everywhere, it's like all of a sudden, as or the 100th monkey effect or whatever, as we wake up to it really being aware of the wisdom of karma and cause and effect, and all of us beings, the psychonauts and the mystics and everybody that is gathering and sharing information this way.
Yeah.
Um, this has to have an effect on the karma. Yes, it does.
It never
Mic
fails.
drop.
It never fails.
Oh, I mean, beautiful.
Dude,
So
the
what
sun
does
card.
the
Wow.
universe
Yeah.
have to tell us?
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. Let me get my cards so that they're not so messy looking for all of you. Okay. Wow. Okay. So, you know, nothing is ever just straightforward. You never just get like oh, everything's going to be great and it's going to be beautiful and easy. So, what we have here is a clear yes to the fact that as we wake up and we come into the light, our consciousness expands. We come into this beautiful, it's almost like a type of innocence. It's almost like a new, these new parts of ourselves are being birthed, as you say, right? This is a
Mhm.
birth happening. So what comes from that birth is this new innocent childlike way of stepping carrying on this path. We have two child cards even here,
Yeah.
and so it's almost like we're
We're
this.
taking baby steps.
Yes. And
Yeah.
this karma is like, again, that card coming in around it. This is like old systems. Like we are really doing the good work right now,
Mm.
particularly, I'd say, in the fourth dimension. To like, we're stepping out of the 3D more and more. We're going into the 4D. And I feel like we're really like, we're working through all of this karmic soup that has been really, really laid on us thick throughout our ancestry and our generations. So it could be a little exhausting, honestly. Like the overall the path that we're on is the path to the light. It is the path to the new world, and we are stepping into that golden age, the age of the new light and the new earth. And yet birth can be tiring. So this is saying, you know, remember to rest, and that this could be, you know, not just all easy.
It's not all sunshine and roses to work with karma, that's for sure.
No.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
and it's a journey. It's a big journey.
Yeah.
We're heading certainly in the right direction here. This is, you know, as many of you may know, the moving out of troubled water card.
Yeah.
Our energetic bodies are doing a lot of, we got 2 aces here. So we're doing a lot of upgrading right now. We are in a whole new cycle. We're doing a lot of upgrading. So some of it could happen quite quickly with this Chariot card. And so it's almost like we're in the resting, like the calm before the storm here.
In that show with Jay Widener, we were looking at how under psychedelics, mostly DMT and psilocybin, one
Yeah.
becomes more understanding of a new version of telepathy as opposed to me reading what's in your mind. It's more about me seeing what you mean, right? This language that's communicated to you by the mushrooms. And I wonder now if this telepathic stuff that's also in the cards for humanity as we evolve is going to have a big impact on karma as well. Because imagine now being telepathic for those 3 people who asked questions tonight. Imagine if they were in telepathic communication, seeing what the other person means, how you could deal with that karma, perhaps even more effectively moving forward, as opposed to being like a pinball in a pinball machine, not knowing what's happening and what the other person is feeling or meaning in that relationship. That's going to be absolutely crazy. Marie, I agree with you. Crystal is amazing. Didn't I tell you at the beginning of the show? She was amazing. Oh my God. Thank you. Hey guys, if you want to have a reading with Crystal, I truly recommend this. Please go to beyondmystic.net. There you can click on the consultation page and you'll see the new product there. For Kristen, these are 1 hour intuitive tarot reading sessions here with Crystal. What does that typically look like with you? Every tarot reader has a different perspective, different point of view, different way of approaching their clients. So for the people who are excited of having one-on-ones with you, perhaps to look at some karma, or perhaps to just look at navigating what's in front of them now, whether that's finding a new job, a new relationship, a new loved one. What do those readings look like here for you, Crystal?
Oh, thank you. Yeah. So generally, I mean, it's spending a beautiful hour together where we really get to tune in with your guides. And I usually like to begin with a lovely little opening meditation so that we can really connect with each other and open up those really high frequency channels. I always come in through that really power neutral, heart centered, love centered space. And then I usually start with an overview wheel so that we can get a real glimpse on your life. It is the astrological wheel that Mom does on her Saturday forecast shows. So many of you will be familiar with that. And then from there, we can get into answering more questions that may not have been answered in the wheel, doing more deep dives. It is all recorded, so you can listen to it again and again. And I'd say for me, in my what I bring in a unique way would be, you know, many of the things that we've already spoken to, and I also come from having a coaching background. I am a conscious evolver coach as well, and so I have this natural way of just creating a safe container for us to get really curious and have some conversations. And this is not a one-sided experience where I'm just going to tell you all these things that are going to happen to you and you deal with it, you know. I'm here to support you in whatever comes up. So it's really supportive. It's really, I find a lot of people walk away feeling, you know, lighter and really grateful. And I learned from every one of them, which is so beautiful to me. You know, there's always nuggets of wisdom. I'm like, I needed to hear that today. So me
Great.
working with supporting you always supports me too, and supports the greater collective as well.
Wow. Great answer. Guys, check it out. BeyondMystic.net. Of course, as it says in the ticker tape, coupon code BeyondMystic, you'll save 10% off there. Go book a session with the lovely Crystal. Somebody in the live chat said something about you being an Egyptian goddess. Was it a Greek goddess or Egyptian
Oh,
goddess? I can see what they
yeah.
mean, but yeah. No, and I hope we've conveyed the feeling that I was trying to convey to you at the beginning of the show in my intro. This quotient émotionnel, this emotional IQ that Crystal brings to her work is absolutely phenomenal. And when you get her one-on-one, of course, she's nervous today and it's hard to be on her first show. I still think you did absolutely well, did
Thank
an
you.
amazing job here, Crystal. But I know for a fact, having you read for me with your mom and Janine, I was just completely blown away by all three of you, but specifically you and some of the elements that you had brought that were not known to anybody at the time. And I thought you did an amazing job. So guys, if you're struggling with anything right now and you need some advice moving forward, check it out. BeyondMystic.net. Click on that consultation page. And thank you, everyone, for all those nice comments. Everybody loved the show here tonight.
Oh,
And it's just the beginning, Crystal. So Beyond Karma, just the beginning.
yes.
We'll take your comments, of course. Guys, let us know how you like the show. If there's specific themes also that you would like us to address moving forward. Of course, this is a Crystal show moving forward. I was happy to be her first guest here tonight, but she's going to be handling the reins of the production for this show moving forward. And so all of your comments are absolutely welcome. It'll help her guide the show here to better serve you moving forward
Please.
as well. Anything else, Crystal, you'd like to say before we go?
Yeah, just a couple more things actually. So just as JC said just now, one thing I was so excited about with this show was that I really look forward to getting like up close and personal and interactive with you as our family and as our community. And so, you know, I know sometimes it's challenging to be vulnerable and bring your personal questions. And yet we all learn from each other, as I said, right? So, and all of your guides coming in and being here all come together to support, you know, each person that we're reading on. So it's such a potent and powerful container to hold. So I'm really excited to continue to bring that to you weekly. And as JC said, we're going to have the opportunity for you to be able to share any good news stories that you've found, because I would love to just continue to celebrate the good things that are really happening in this world. And also, Coco has invited me to be on her show this coming Friday. We don't have the poster made up or anything, but I talked to her yesterday and she was like, girl, come on my show. So, and that's going to be an opportunity for us to just have some chats. And she's like, I just want to ask some fun questions about you and really get to know you a little bit more. So if you're curious about some of the scoop on me, I'm going to be on Friday with Coco.
So you're going to be on the Coco Show hot seat on Friday, August 29 at 1 p.m. Check it out, guys, on the Beyond Mystic schedule.
That's going to be fun, I think. I think we're going to be...
Oh, absolutely. And Crystal is going to be back on the show with Janine and I. I think Coco's has it now. Is it next Thursday or the Thursday after? September 4th. So stay tuned for that as well. Janine, myself, and Crystal will be doing a show here in about a week and a half from now as well. You don't want to miss that one. And yes, don't miss the Coco show. That should be fun. And I have to echo something also before you go. Yes, it's hard to ask personal questions in a live show like this. It takes a lot of bravery and maturity. And it also takes a brave and mature audience. And I saw that today in the live chat and the way people were respecting each other, some of the challenges they were going through. And I really want to thank you because you guys make the show in the live chat also and help us create that environment where these conversations can happen and where we can grow together and share not just our struggles and our challenges, but also our success stories. And so a big thank you to, for sure, to all of the audience here.
Oh, I second that. It lights me up to watch how people support each other in the chats. and how they have, you know, it really does feel like community, and to see the love that's shared, and the support and encouragement, that it's what we're doing. It's what we're here for. So thank you for pointing that out.
You're very welcome.
Yeah.
Well, there you go, Crystal. We're at the end of the show. Take it away.
Thank you all so much for being here. I'm going to be here every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern time. So please tune on in with me again. And I look forward to seeing where this goes.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Blessings, everyone. Have a beautiful week.
Au revoir.